Hey everybody, I did a video of a honeybee cutout recently, and I've had a couple requests to show what I use for a vacuum system to suck the bees up. For me, it's about the easiest way. The disadvantage to it is it's kind of hard to know whether you got the queen or not unless you're really careful. But basically the questions were, what do I use and how does it work? And I can't take credit for the design, but I got it online 3 or 4 years ago. I couldn't tell you where I found it, but if you do some research, you'll find a lot of different BVAC systems out there, and even ones you can buy commercially. But everybody's making one. I can't tell you whether any of the rest of them work or not. I tried this one and I love it, but that's just me and my opinion. But anyway, to do this, you're going to need first a vacuum, any old vacuum, it really doesn't matter. However, I bought this DeWalt because it's 110 or battery operated. I've got 18 volt DeWalt tools, and this is an 18 or 20 volt vac or 110. So if I've got power, I use 110. Obviously, if I don't, I can resort to my batteries. Just a standard vacuum, doesn't have to be anything special. Then you're going to need a standard bee box, probably a deep box. These are 9 5/8 top to bottom. This is a standard 10 frame Langstroth style design. That's what I use. I do have holes in the one side for winter use. So the other thing you're going to want is a roll of duct tape or tape. Stick a piece of tape over that. And then we've got the magic portions. This is a design, like I said, I found online. I couldn't tell you where, but it was really easy to build. And I've used it 3 or 4 times, and I like it. It works fantastic. Okay, so you're going to build a 2-piece box. The top is just 1/2 inch plywood, 3/4 inch by 3 1x3s. Doesn't matter how deep it is. You're going to cover that entire side with 1/8 inch hardware cloth, so the bees can't go up into this. All right. I put some weather stripping around it to help seal it. It works really good. There's going to be 2 ports in this. One port where you plug the vacuum in. So this will have to be custom to your vacuum, or get a set of adapters, either one. This is where the hose from the vacuum goes in here. This is where the vacuum does its sucking, if you will. Then you're going to need to make another port up here, and I just used a piece of this melanite. 1 screw in it, so you can close this, adjust it to where you've got enough strength to suck the bees up. But a lot of times you don't want the full vacuum strength, because it'll really suck them through here hard. You want to just have enough strength to get them into the hose and up through the hose. So that's what this is for, is just to adjust your vacuum pressure, if you will, the amount of vacuum strength. And then the bottom box, same thing, 1x3s, weather stripping. There's a piece of plywood in the bottom. As you can see, it's at an angle. There's no specific angle. I just started at the bottom, even with the bottom, and wound up about 1.25 inches shy of the other side. This gives the bees, this is where, and then you're going to put a port in this. I put a door on it. I swing this open, and this is where the hose that's going to be sucking the bees up goes. Plugs in here. And then as long as it is, it doesn't really matter. The bees are going to get sucked in through this hole, up this gradual slope, and into the box. And I'll put this all together one piece at a time so you can see how it works. I put the door on here so when I'm done I can swing it shut and lock it, and the bees are trapped in here. So this goes on the bottom. You start out with this on the bottom. Then you're going to put your box on here. Dogs are playing with a stick. Tape up your hole. Then your top's going to go on. I generally use the vacuum port in the back So the vacuum's on the opposite end because you don't really need to move that much. Once you hook that up, you're good to go. Alright, they go together. And you're going to put your, I've got just a ratchet strap here I use for tension to hold it together. You hook this on here. Bring her down snug. There you have it. Put your frames in your bee box first. That's what I do. I usually put like 5 drawn comb frames and 5 completely empty frames, so there's enough room in there for the bees. Give them something to stay in there with. Give them something to cling to, if you will, climb on, but don't crowd them. I only put 9 in this. I don't put 10 in. Then that gives you more room for more bees. Vacuum goes in here. Tape over your hole, if you have a hole. Take your bee hose, goes in here. Adjust your vacuum to where you can suck the bees up without slamming around really bad. And there you have it. And when you're done, you just unstrap it, take this box off, set it on a hive. I have a bottom board that's closed so they can't get out. Set it on that, put a cover on it, and then you can put another box in here if you need to. I did have one cut out I did last year that I did take 2 full boxes of bees out of. Actually, as of this year, they have made 1, 2, 3, 4 hives. I had 2 boxes, so I split them immediately. But anyway, that's the basic bee vac that I use. Once again, I can't tell you where I came up with the design. It was online. I just couldn't tell you what site or where. I looked around. There's a lot of them out there. This is one I thought it was easy enough to build. I threw it together. I've used it 3 or 4 times now, and I really like it. It works good because all you got to have is bee boxes. It really doesn't matter, and a vacuum, and you're good to go. But that's what I use. So anyway, that's for the couple guys who wanted to know exactly what I used for a bee vacuum. You have to have some kind of a medium for the bees. You don't really want to suck them right into the vacuum. It's hard to control the vacuum, the suction on the vacuum. My grandson's throwing the dogs a stick. They chase each other. Unless you have this type of system. I really like this system because you can close the bees in here. If you only got 1 box of bees, they can't get out through this hole anyway, and they can't get out through the vacuum hole because you've got that hardware cloth in here. Alright, and I put a port on here, so if you're done with just 1 box, you close this, put your strap on there, and take it home. Anyway, that's what I've got. I appreciate you watching. I hope this kind of gives you an idea on what I use anyway. And there's a lot of stuff out there. Whatever works for you, that's the way to do it. But anyway, have a good day. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody.